Chapter 4 Mr. Sunny is Weird. Mr. Sunny had a baseball cap on his head and earphones in his ears. He was working very hard on his sandcastle, using a plastic shovel to carve the walls. Finally, he noticed me and Andrea watching him. "Hi, AJ," he said. "Who's your girlfriend?" "She's not my girlfriend," I said. "I'm not his girlfriend," Andrea said. "Well, who's your friend that's a girl?" asked Mr. Sunny. "She's not my friend either," I told him. "Friends are people you like. This is Andrea." "Charmed," Andrea said, all giggly. She did one of those curtsy things girls do. "I love your sandcastle." What a brown-noser. As soon as Andrea started talking to Mr. Sunny, she acted like I wasn't even there. "I'm going to win the contest," Mr. Sunny said. "First prize is a trip to France. I'm going to go to college there and study sand sculpture from the great sand masters." "That sounds awesome," Andrea gushed. "Are you in high school?" "Yeah, I'm 16. "Is Sunny your real name?" asked Andrea. "Nah," Mr. Sunny said. "My name is Evan. Everybody calls me Mr. Sunny because I love the sun so much." "What's in a name?" said Andrea. "That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Shakespeare wrote that, you know." Ugh. Mr. Sunny took off his baseball cap and showed it to us. It had solar panels built right into it. Then he turned around and showed us that his tank top had solar panels built into it too. "The solar panels power my iPod," Mr. Sunny told us. "Why do we have to burn gas or coal when all the power we need is right there in the sky? Global warming is a bummer, man." "I hate global warming," Little Miss Brown-Noser said. If Mr. Sunny said he hated butterflies, Andrea would probably say she hates them too. "Excuse me," Mr. Sunny said. "I can't talk right now. I have to work on my sandcastle before the beach fills with kids." "Men of few words are the best men," Andrea said. Shakespeare wrote that too. Mr. Sunny took off his shirt and went back to carving this castle. When he turned around, I could see the word Sunny written across his back in white letters. "Is that a tattoo?" I asked. "No," Mr. Sunny said. "I cut the letters SUNNY out of paper and taped them to my back. It's a sunny sunburn." Andrea was all giggly and told him his sunburn was cool. "I bet you have lots of girlfriends," Andrea said. "Oh, I don't have time for that," Mr. Sunny replied. "Sand is my life." Mr. Sunny is funny, but if you ask me, people who wear solar panels and tape letters to their backs are weird. Soon the beach was filled with people, blankets, and umbrellas. I went for a swim. When I came back, Andrea and a bunch of other kids were gathered around Mr. Sunny. "Part of being a lifeguard is to teach you kids about first aid," he said. "Does anybody know what to do if a person is drowning and can't breathe?" Little Miss I Know Everything waved her hand in the air just like she was at school. But Mr. Sunny called on me. So na-na-na-na-boo-boo on Andrea. "It depends on who's drowning," I said. "If the quarterbacks of your Pee-wee football team is drowning, then you have to get a new quarterback right away. Because if you don't have a quarterback, you'll have to forfeit the game." Everybody laughed, even though I didn't say anything funny. Andrea rolled her eyes. "How about you, Andrea?" asked Mr. Sunny. "If somebody is drowning," she said, "you give them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." "That's right," Mr. Sunny said. Andrea stuck her tongue out at me. I stuck mine out right back at her. "Arlo, don't you remember when Officer Spence gave mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to Miss Daisy at our graduation?" Andrea asked. "It was just last week." "How am I supposed to remember what happened last week?" "Do you need a volunteer to practice mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on?" asked one of the girls. They all got giggly and waved their hands in the air. Me! Shouted Andrea. "Please, please, 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 pick me." "Okay," Mr. Sunny said. "Andrea, you're my volunteer." "Yay!" Andrea squealed, jumping up and down. I tell you, that please thing works every time. Mr. Sunny told Andrea to lie on the sand. "Okay," he said. "Pretend you were drowning. I dragged you up on the beach and you can't breathe." "I can do that," I said. You can pretend you were drowning and you can't breathe? Mr. Sunny asked. No, I can pretend that Andrea was drowning and can't breathe, I told him. I do it every day. You're mean, Arlo. Mr. Sunny knelt down next to Andrea. She closed her eyes. He tilted her head back a little and... Look at that picture, guys. Do you see that big word at the top? Pinched her nostrils shut with his fingers. Then he told us he was going to pretend to blow a few breaths of air into Andrea's mouth so she would be able to breathe again. He leaned over until his mouth was almost touching hers. Andrea puckered up her lips. Ew, disgusting. Mr. Sunny was about to kiss Andrea. I thought I was going to throw up. That's when the strangest thing in the history of the world happened. Shark! Somebody yelled, There's a shark in the water!